Now, let's talk about the quotient rule. So the quotient rule is whenever you have the derivative of one function divided by another function. So you're trying to find the derivative of a quotient. And it has a formula. So I'm going to highlight all the places where there's a g or a g prime, just so we can see it with the color. And then I'm going to highlight the other places where it has either an f or an f prime. Oh, I'm going to change my color because I'm making a last minute decision here. Okay, that's fine. Then I'll just write in green and gold. Okay. Now, this formula you are going to have to use quite a bit, so it's worth memorizing. So, yes, memorize that. But I'm going to give you a trick to help you remember it. It's actually a yodel. It's called low D high minus high D low over low low. Low D high minus high D low over low low. Sounds like a yodeler, right? Okay, but let me write it out. I think it will help you. So you'll do low D high minus high. Oh wait, that's the wrong color. Wrong color. Yellow. High D low, like D space low. D space high. All over low low. So what that means, when I say low, I'm talking about the function that's in the denominator. So in other words, the low function. D high means derivative of the high, or the derivative of the denominator. So low times the derivative of high minus the high, which is the numerator, times the derivative of the low, all over the denominator squared. But if you say low D high minus high D low over low low, it's easier, or gives you something to help you memorize it. So let's try this. We're going to find y prime if y equals 5 over 3x minus 2. It will help if you color code this. So I'm going to highlight the high in yellow and the low I'm going to highlight in green. And then I will work them out this way. So it tells me to find y prime. So I'm going to take low, which is 3x minus 2. You just copy it down, times the derivative of the high. So the derivative of the numerator, the derivative of 5 is 0, minus high, so you just copy down 5, times the derivative of the low, so derivative of 3x minus 2 is 3, all over the low, 3x minus 2 times the low, or the low squared. So 3x minus 2 squared. And I should have put parentheses right here because that whole high gets multiplied by the low. So then we simplify everything. Y prime equals, hey, cool, 3x minus 2 times 0 is just 0. Negative 5 times 3 is negative 15 over 3x minus 2 squared. There's my derivative. Let's try this one. Find f prime if f of x equals 4x minus 3 over 2x plus 1. So again, I'll highlight the numerator in yellow. I'll highlight the denominator in green. And it says find f prime. So f prime equals low, which is 2x plus 1, d high, so I need the derivative of the numerator, 4, minus, excuse me guys, high, 4x minus 3, times the derivative of the low, derivative of 2x plus 1 is 2, all over the low, or all over 2x plus 1 squared. So then I'll simplify. 2x minus 1 times 4, distribute that 4, you'll get 8x plus 4. And then I'll distribute the 2. to get minus, and make sure if I haven't subtracted this negative yet, I'm going to have a minus and then parentheses for the whole thing. Minus 8x minus 6 all over 2x plus 1 squared. So this equals, let's see, 8x minus 8x, those 8's cancel. And then 4 minus negative 6 is 10 over 2x plus 1 squared. So there's my derivative there. And that is how you do the quotient rule. Now sometimes the quotient rule can be scary. So you do have other options if sometimes you can avoid it. And there are times that you can avoid it by using another technique. So you did problems like y equals 1 over x squared with the power rule by rewriting first. So you would have rewritten y equals 1 over x squared as y equals x to the negative 2. And then you could have found the derivative that way. Not dy over dy, dy dx. Dy dx would be negative 2x to the negative third if you rewrite it and do it with the power rule. But you can also apply the quotient rule. I can say that y dy dx, oh, it does say find y prime. Well, we're going to find dy dx. So dy dx would be low, so the x squared, times derivative of the high, derivative of 1 is 0, minus high, which is 1, times the derivative of the low, derivative of x squared is 2x. Low d high minus high d low, all over low, low. So x squared squared. Then I simplify everything. X squared times 0 is 0. Negative 1 times 2x is negative 2x over x to the fourth. And then x divided by x to the fourth, you can divide one of those out. So dy dx equals negative 2 over x cubed, which is the same as negative 2x to negative 3. So in that case, you can do the quotient rule or the power rule. And you could have also rewritten this one and separated it out. So you could rewrite this as x squared over x squared minus 3x over x squared plus 1 over x squared. You could separate it and then do what you did in the last lesson to find that, if you don't want to use the quotient rule. But the only times that you can do these techniques is if you look at these denominators, there's only one term, whereas previously these denominators have more than one term. So you can't separate it out or kind of avoid it whenever you have more than one term in the denominator. So this is how you do the quotient rule. Have a great day. If you have questions, as always, you can reach out, you can email me, or schedule a help session. Have a wonderful day.